YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. We got updated power rankings heading into week 14 of the NFL season. Update these every single Tuesday afternoon. Your team wins, they go up. They lose, they go down. Not end of the year prediction. That's how they work here every single week. So if you enjoy, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Full NFL coverage here. We got picks every week, score predictions, a lot more, even in the offseason. So join us. Follow our Twitter live updates. There's a link down below. You also find recent videos, links to recent videos down below, pinned in the comments as well. To the power rankings. So the Jags got a new, I'm covering it up here. They're down one spot, and new number 32, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Why? Well, the Lions won. They're not number 32, and the Jaguars are kind of playing pretty bad. They're playing really bad offense. You know, it felt like the defense got better at some point during the year, but they're playing really bad offense. They're almost coaching to not win games. You hear James Robinson talk like he got benched and he was trying to go back in. Hyde trying to take him out. They wouldn't let him back in. Are they tanking? Are they stupid? We don't really know what the situation is, but situational coaching's not good, and play calling's not good. Play designs. And the playmakers aren't being playmakers out there either. So Jaguars really struggling. They're down one spot to number 32. Texans, pretty much the same boat. Like, are they trying to win games? It's tough when it feels like they're not. But I mean, they struggled against a good team in the Colts. Couldn't get much going. Tyrod Taylor gets shaken up, and they end up benching him anyways. Again, they just couldn't get a lot going. Defense was physical early on in that game, but yeah, it's been rough. They lose to the Jets last week and then to the Colts this week. The Lions are not 32 and they're not even 31. They're 30. They get a good win against the Vikings. They outplayed the Vikings in that first half by quite a bit. And they kind of let them come back though. Some poor coaching decisions, especially towards the end, going for them fourth down. But they clutch up on that last drive. Jared Goff clutches up and they win that game. Teams kind of beating the Vikings have been running on them, and that's kind of a big reason they've been beating that defense, but the Lions actually threw on them, so that was kind of impressive there. Not that the Vikings got a good pass defense, but they kind of did it a different way, a more challenging way, I guess, than running on them, and it worked out for the Lions. So they got a win. There they go. And they've played well enough to win more than one game. It's just kind of going out and getting one for me to move them up. You know, I wasn't going to move them up when they had 0 wins. Jets down one spot. Offense started hot in that game against the Eagles, then went pretty cold. The defense was cold the whole time. Bears down a spot. Sloppy game against the Cardinals there. But the Bears have they won last week, but it's kind of been a mess offensively for them recently, and just too many turnovers to win that one. Saints are on a losing streak. They remain on that losing streak. They were putting up somewhat of a fight with the Cowboys for a little bit there last Thursday night, but they're going to be down one spot because of that losing streak there at 27. The Giants are down 3 spots. They play the Dolphins. The defense, once again, does enough, but the offense just, once again, is very disappointing. They throw the ball 44 times and can't get the ball in the end zone. The lack of runs while they were in the game is all around bad from the offense, whether it's the coaching staff or the actual players there. So they're down 3 spots to 26, even though I do really like their defense. Panthers remain at 25. And they'll actually play the Falcons this week, who remain at 24. So the Panthers got the best of them last time. It seemed like a matchup in their favor. Now they got a lot of guys out. They're going to have a different coordinator. They got a different quarterback than the last time they played them. So let's see if things change here this next time. Seahawks are going to be up 6 spots. It's a much needed and a good, solid win against the 49ers. They scored 30 points. You know, it's just something they haven't been able to do, not even close. So is this new? You know, do they got some momentum? Are they different? Are they able to move the ball now? Or do they need to rely on getting those turnovers they got? Or, it felt like, especially in the end of the game, they got things going more and more. You know, they were able to move the ball. They turned the ball over on the goal line a couple times. Gerald Everett did. So it did feel, my point is, it did feel like they were able to move the ball a little bit more. So they're up 6 spots after a good win against the 49ers. Vikings are down 3. Vikings got lucky that all these teams below this point, lost as well, because losing to the Lions is never good. So inconsistent. How do you beat the Packers and you lose the Lions? So we know the Vikings have that talent. They just can't figure it out though. So they're down 3 spots to number 22. The Browns stayed put at 21. The Raiders are down 2 spots. Yeah, Raiders are just so inconsistent. just put up so many points on Thanksgiving, and they just really, really struggle to score for that pretty much entire game against the Washington football team, a very winnable game for them, and they just can't do it. So very disappointed with them. They're at the top of these rankings early in the year, too, so they're down 2 spots. Eagles up 1, good offense performance from Gardner Minshew, Dallas Goedert, and the Philadelphia Eagles there. Got that win that they should get. Broncos down 4 spots, a poor performance against the Chiefs for them on Sunday night. Just, it's weird because they were able to run the clock when they wanted to. They were able to move the ball when they wanted to, but they just couldn't score. They just couldn't score, so that's not a good look there. They're down 4 spots. Let's see if they can get back on track this week. Steelers, they were going south, but they get a much-needed and a key win against the Ravens there, and they'll go up 5 spots. Last second win. They get on their last possession, they score, obviously, and then the Ravens go and score, and then they stop them on the 2-point conversion. But a really good clutch win for the Steelers there, much needed against a division rival to kind of stay in contention of that division. So they are up 5 spots, 2-17. 49ers go down 6 spots. A lot of teams in this area won, so that kind of forced the Niners down, but at the same time, they forced themselves down. Because that's just a poor outing against a cold Seattle Seahawks team. You gave up 30 points. You're also very sloppy on the field while doing so. And a team you expect to win a time of possession game against a team that's historically bad, while being terrible managing the time of possession, you lose a time of possession. So all those things together, just not a good look there. So they're down 6 spots to number 16. Let's see if the 49ers can kind of get back on track. They were heating up before that. Dolphins up 2 spots. They keep rising up. They keep winning. Another great defensive performance. The offense got going a little late in that game, but it worked out for them. Chargers also up 2 spots. We know the Chargers are very capable of being a better team in this. They can maybe be in that first group of teams there in these rankings. They just have to stay consistent. It's hard to, be ranked real high when you're going to win the week one week, then lose. A disappointing loss to the Broncos last week, and then they're going to win, and, kind of back and forth. But that's a good time. That's a big time win against the Bengals. Let's see if they can stay consistent. They got the Giants this week. You would think, the Giants got a good defense for them, but you would think the Chargers would be able to finally stay consistent here and help themselves in a system like this here. Washington gets another win. They are streaking. They're playing a lot better on defense. They're clutch on offense. They're running the ball pretty well. One thing I don't like is they are allowing these teams that they're completely outplaying to kind of stick around and give them a shot to win. If they feel like a playoff team right now, but if you get in the playoffs, those teams aren't just gonna, let you finish, the game on top. They're gonna put it out there, allow them to come back. They're gonna go and finish the deal there. So they got to clean that up a little bit. They are winning though. They are winning. They're on a streak. They're looking good. Again, the defense is looking real good. Bills down 3 spots. Yeah, that was a must-win game against the Patriots. It's a tough Patriots team, but the Patriots went out there. They only threw the ball 3 times, 1 time for a good portion of that game. It was about as predictable as you can get because their run game, and the Bills had opportunities, and you go and lose that one. So it's one of those and other ones where it's kind of a bad look loss for the Buffalo Bills, even though it's to a pretty good team. So they're down 3 spots. Another team that can't really stay consistent. They got a big game against the Buccaneers this week. I'm excited about that one. Rams up 2 spots. Let's see if they can stay consistent. Let's see if they can beat those good teams now. They'll play the Cardinals, who they struggled with last time. They played them on Monday night. Big-time game. It'll really boost them if they can win that game, boost them in the power rankings. But they got the momentum, the confidence, that they needed against the Jaguars there, so that was good. They'll go up 2 spots there. The Colts up 2 spots as well. A lot of 2-spot up here for a lot of these teams. Colts, I like the way they're playing. They are coming off a loss last week to the Buccaneers, but this week they go and dominate the Texans. I do like the way they're playing, though. They can create takeaways on defense, and they're playing very well on offense, whether it's with the running game or the passing game. They're mainly running, but they look like a solid team here, so they're into the top 10. Number 9, the Bengals go down 3 spots. A sloppy game against the Chargers. They were very hot right before that, and that kind of helped them get in the top tier of teams, but they're going to move down 3 spots. Still like overall from the last several weeks, I still like what I saw from the Bengals. They put some good play out on the field on both sides of the ball, but yeah, it's a tough one there. They just started the game off super sloppy, and they had that Joe Mixon mistake there. They got some guys beat up now. Everybody does, but we'll see how they recover from that. They play the 49ers, so that's 9 versus 16. 2 teams that were hot, went cold for 1 week. Somebody's going to get back to getting hot, and somebody's going to stay cold here. So who's it going to be? That's a big-time game there. I'm really excited for that one. Cowboys up 3 spots to number 8. Yeah, it's a tough one because the Cowboys really aren't playing they're not playing their best football. They're playing good enough, obviously, to win a game like that. They get some help with a team like the Bengals lose, the Bills lose, to move up into the top 8. I do want them to play a little better. Ideal for them to kind of go easier said than done, but go back to playing how they were earlier in the year. But they are number 8. Titans remain at 7. They had a bye week. They'll play the Jaguars this week. It seems like the Titans struggle with the teams that they should beat easily, but they should take care of business in this week. Ravens go down a spot. Yeah, Ravens are like the Cowboys. Like, we know they're very capable of playing a lot better ball. They're not playing that best of ball right now. They lose to the Steelers, even though they had control most of that game. They're kind of fortunate. A lot of these other teams, I couldn't move the Titans ahead of them because they're on a little bit of a losing streak and they're on a bye. The Cowboys aren't playing well enough to move them up more than 3 spots right now. And then the Bengals lost, the Bills lost. So the Ravens kind of were fortunate in this power ranking system that all those other teams lost too, because they feel like the way they're playing it, they're deserving of moving down more. Still a very good team. They play very good defense and lose more than Humphrey now. So we'll see how they recover from that. They'll play the Browns. They just played them a couple weeks ago. It was, to me, a very odd scheduling because the Browns were on a bye in between the 2 times playing the Ravens. So I think that's a tough task. First game without Marlon Humphrey. Browns getting an advantage there. So this is a big game for the Ravens. They can pull that one off. That's actually a big win if they can do that. 5, the Chiefs. They're back. They're back into the top 5. We kind of felt that they would do this at some point, but they just had to go do it, and they're doing it right now. They're on a winning streak. Defense is playing out of their minds right now. One of the better blitzing defenses in football. The whole defense is playing better. Offense, they start off hot and kind of take that lead, control the game. They cool down a little bit as the game goes on. So if you had to nitpick, that's somewhere where they can get a little better. But they went and dominated the Broncos on that primetime game, and they're up 3 spots in the top 5. So the Chiefs are back. 4, the Buccaneers are going to stay put there. They get a good win against the Falcons. It's just tough to move them ahead of the teams in the top 3. Patriots, that's the biggest game of the year for them and the Bills so far in that game. It's in Buffalo, freezing cold. It's to keep control of that AFC East. And they go do it without even throwing the ball, really. So a very good rushing performance. Even without throwing, it's a very well-called game there from that coaching staff, I thought. The defensive job as well. It feels like you want to move them up from a game like that, a big, important game. They continue to go on a streak. It's just tough to move them ahead of they're right there with them, though, but no reason to move the Cardinals down. And the Packers are still at 1 for me. I just feel I got the feeling from them, even though they're on a bye, they feel like the best team right now, in my opinion. The Cardinals, though, and the Packers who the Cardinals just handled, which we expect both teams to handle, but the Cardinals in the Bears, and the Cardinals will play the Rams on Monday night, a huge game. So Cardinals doing what they did the last time the Rams, they do that. It's going to be hard for me to keep them out of number 1 after getting that statement win there. So, yeah, the Packers and Cardinals are pretty much right there at 1. Patriots right behind them. And you see the rest of the teams there. And there's some, again, big games this week. We talked about it. The Buccaneers play the Bills. Bucks play the Bills. That's 4 versus 12. The Cardinals play the Rams. That's 2 versus 11. The Bengals and the 49ers. That is massive. I think that Ravens-Browns game is a big one there. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. You kind of get that playoff atmosphere right now at this time of the year, especially for some of these playoff-type games. So, really excited about those games coming up. We'll have our picks tonight, which is Tuesday night, score predictions Wednesday. We got you covered here. Power rankings every Tuesday afternoon. So, join us next week as well. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on for all that content. Be much, much appreciated. Follow our Twitter live updates on there. Always talking with you guys. We got Players of the Week poll. You guys vote for who wins each game. Everything you can think of there. There's a link down below, pinned in the comments for that, for our Twitter, and for recent videos as well. So check it out. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.